Okay. Hey, hey, hey. What do you say? You are now tuned in to another episode of LampBitious. This is your host, Ambitious Brown, owner and creator of Rillo 87. It's an apparel brand that I created just to try to be like a black owned Nike. I'm gonna get there one day. Right now we got t-shirts and hoodies and things like that. But it's the hostess with the mostest. Today we have a couple of special guests. I also want to introduce our co-host, Mr. Lloyd. How you been doing, Lloyd?
Man, hanging in there, man. Just blessed to be in the presence, right?
Straight like that. So tonight we have a couple of special guests, Mr. Sheldon Theragood, who is a current police officer, and then we also have Mr. Micah. Micah is a current or he recent high school graduate, and we're just gonna pick their brains, talk to them for a little bit, and just see what you guys think about a couple of things that we wanted to talk about. So first and foremost, how has everybody been dealing with the coronavirus and the Rona and quarantining? Lloyd, what have you been up to during this pandemic?
Just trying to stay busy. I feel like an idle mind is the devil at work, man. So just getting putting Lamp out there, trying to, build the brand and most of all serve the community. You know, my workouts have fell off a little bit because, but no excuses with that. But just again, and then again, I have a teenager going to high school next year, so that's a big that's a big step too. So just staying occupied and not letting the pandemic occupy your mind because it can be very depressing.
I agree with that. Mr. Thurgood, what about you? What have you been up to?
Well, first of all, I want to say appreciate y'all for having me on.
No
Uh,
problem.
it's
Thank
been
you.
a long week. Every day I'm doing something. If it's not designing clothes or I'm studying or out serving the public or dealing with my organization. So that's my everyday thing. Pandemic or not, I'm working. So I mean that's pretty much what I do over here.
That's awesome. Stay busy. You got to be productive because, like you say, I don't mind, devil's work, all of that. Like, you got to stay busy in these streets. What about you, Mr. Micah? How have you been quarantining? How have you been handling everything?
It's kind of depressing, but also a blessing. In the same way. I didn't get to finish off my senior year the traditional way that everyone before me is able to do. I missed out on senior events, on just things that natural seniors do. But also, I was able to finally start after 2 years, start my clothing brand because I had so much time, and I didn't have to, use my money, spend it elsewhere since I'm here all the time. I was able to invest in myself for once, and so it was actually a blessing as well as a curse as well.
So, see, look, God works in the way that He's going to work for us. And this just happened. I feel like it was a blessing for me also. It's been very productive. Everything's been increasing in my life. Like, literally, each month there's been an increase. So, I'm definitely thankful for quarantine. It was an unexpected blessing. I had a whole lot of plans. Thought I was going to be traveling, thought I was going to be on a beach, doing all that fun stuff. But no, it didn't happen. So, I have been able to, like you say, invest more into myself, into my brand, and it's been a blessing. So I'm not really tripping like I was at first, because at first I'm like, "Ooh, quarantine, why are we here?" But now I see the blessing in disguise. So first, let's go ahead and dive right into this. I want to ask you a couple of questions, Mr. Thurgood. First, I want to know, dealing with all of the things like George Floyd, Ahmaud, I can't remember his last name, but all of the police killings, all of the killings just of young black men. How is it, first and foremost, being a young black man in America today?
I mean, it's tough. I'm more of a I always bring in youth. I'm a youth person, so I always look towards them. I'm a grown man, so I always try to figure out how they feel.
Mm,
Building my organization, it's a whole bunch of kids. Even Micah, he's in my mentoring program, and just hearing about things of our conversation that we be having, just picking their brain to see how they're doing. Um, And it's a lot of things to talk about to try to calm them down. You're doing whatever it takes to tell them that it's some history in this, and we all just trying to get together so these guys won't be like just so down on themselves, and just trying to change a lot of the negatives. Just learn about what's going on instead of just letting emotions come out, but learn what's going on, and at that same time use that energy and to do something great.
So that's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your organization and how did you get it started? What was your inspiration? Why did you want to go ahead and start your mentoring program?
I started all this working at the juvenile facility back in 2006 to 2010. And, you're seeing all these kids coming into the juvenile facility. I was a DO, a detention officer. So man, relationships with these kids, I didn't gain all types of bonds playing with these kids, and you hearing their challenges, you hearing their stories, and you're trying to figure out, why is you keep coming back? You're talking to all these kids from every floor, and you're trying to get the solution. And to the point, I just fell in love with these kids to try, praying to God that I got to do something one day because I got to stop these kids from coming back, being in this system.
Right.
So praying and, building rapport, knowing about their family backgrounds, single parent homes, moms could be locked up, parents, drugs, being around the wrong environment, all those type of things. But then you have some good kids too that done some great things, wrong place, wrong time, and all ages, but they just, got charged for just, like I said, being in the wrong environment. So my whole idea was I want to do something to where I can help to stop this from happening. I mean, at least I might can't help everybody, but mama said at least I can help one or two. I save them. I done my job. So that was like the only thing that I think that I can think of that I can really impact these kids, because how do kids get to the juvenile facility? By who? Law enforcement. So, everything that happens for them to be in the system is by, they either getting arrested, they done something wrong. So why not me join them to try to help stop them from coming into the juvenile facility? So, I thought that was a great idea, but at the same time, teaching and learning and showing them and being that role model and being that barrier, that bridge in that gap, gapping them together. That police and this is not too bad, man. This is a cool officer, man. He's cool. I want to be a police officer. But that was my whole thing. So long story short, that opportunity came about, and all the praying and going to my grandma and just picking people brains. A lot of my friends that work with me in the detention center, and just stepping out on faith. And that's when I came out with Theragooddeeds. But basically, just building a team of youth to go out there and just impact, like making a difference in everybody. Like, because a lot of the kids I dealt with, they didn't have no heart, no love for individuals. So I said, okay, well, let's start by showing some type of love for individuals that you don't know. Dealing with homeless people, dealing with elderly people, you serving the community. So that's what my organization been doing for several years, and actually this would make 7. And we also came out with the mentoring program, which Micah is also one of our mentees. Great kid. He got one of the best mentors. And so that's what I'm all about, man. And this is policing to me is fun. This is exciting. My purpose came to pass. So I'm happy every day doing something great.
Awesome. So my next question. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna interject real quick because Sheldon, for the audience, is like a little brother to me, and so I've known him, all of his life. And so I just want to interject real quick. Everything he's saying is very genuine, and he's always been like that. He recently had a birthday last month, and everybody. I saw a screenshot. He didn't want anything for his birthday. He wanted to work with the kids that was his birthday gift, and that just shows the character, what type of person he is. And so, law enforcement lately has been getting a bad rap, for the George Floyd, and deservingly so. It's rogue people on everybody's job, not just law enforcement. But Sheldon wanted to make a difference, and he has made a difference. And I'm rocking his gear right here. So I'm not just whatever it takes. It's his slogan. Whatever is his slogan for his No, probably. He's provoked. I'm older. He's provoked me to want to go into it and see what I could do.
Yeah.
For Lamp and everything. So he's, it's just funny how we all are tied into this together. But shout out to Sheldon again. I just wanted to interject and let him know that I'm super proud of him and for the work that he's done for the community and for the youth.
Awesome. I mean,
Hold
I'm
on,
like, so
let me interject, ambitious.
go
Let me interject.
ahead.
Hold
Shoot,
on, Chip.
let me sit back.
You can't just throw the good stuff and then not let me. I'm about to put my tissue in real quick, man. I'm about to get a tear. So okay. So Chip went on and said that piece. So what really, really inspired me, and I'm not gonna take too much of y'all time because the emotions start flowing. Chip was one of my role models growing up as a little kid. I wanted to be like those guys. Those guys was basketball players. Those guys was just known, you know what I'm saying? And I was always watching those guys. One thing about it, I always tell people, you never know who's watching. And that goes for kids, it's babies. It don't matter how old they are. You never know who's watching. And Chip was one of those guys that I was always watching, him and Patrick. And of course, my role model was my brother at the time, introducing me and just hanging around those guys for years. And that's how actually that helped me to become the man I am today, because it's Lord right there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some little stuff at you too, brother, because, hey, man, it's a blessing and God has purpose and all this worked out in God's favor. So this is awesome, man.
So you see how it works, how they were a mentor to you in a sense. And now you've created a company, so now you can be a mentor to the next generation. And it's like the good cycle continues all from what just stemmed years ago. And you just would have never thought that this would be the formation of everything. So this is awesome. Like, this really is. Thank you, Michael Boyd. This is great stuff. I appreciate the background. I appreciate the history. I appreciate you, Chip, for allowing me to be a part of this, because this is just like all this stuff. So I do have a couple of other questions. The world, there's a lot of F the police. I hate the police. The police are bad. Well, there's good cops, then there's bad cops, but aren't the good cops still bad cops because they're allowing the bad cops to be bad cops, if that makes any sense? And just from the perspective of an actual, active working in the force, how does that make you feel? And what can we do to change the narrative?
Last month was my 10-year in the police department. So shout out to that. That's a
Congratulations.
Blessing. I always go back to my training. I can't speak for everybody else. The only thing I can really speak for is myself and how I was trained coming into the academy. Always met great people, and that inspired me to be the person I am today. I'm a community person. A lot of people I was hanging around. We have some great officers in the department, and that's why I say, for these 10 years, I can't even tell you what have I experienced, because everything that I've been through these years has just been like a focus, like God just had me on this path. Yeah. And even when I was on patrol, I was always giving. And people are saying, Chip, I know you probably was thinking, I can't even see Sheldon pulling nobody. Yo, he cool, baby. People want to be smiling at people going over there talking about, hey, you was speeding, and start laughing. So, I'll be around people with good hearts, you know what I'm saying? And I know right now we in a different time. You have to change with time. I think what would help if, of course, we all have to come together some type of way. And that's
very true.
Cops going into the community or however we have to do it, to where we have to create that trust again. You know what I'm saying, with the community. And me personally, I try to do that every day, whatever happens. Nothing don't have to happen. I'm still in the community regardless, because that's my purpose, and I try to be that light. I try to be that vessel. God put me in this position, so I'm working. So, but regardless of what goes on, I'm working, and And so, and I'm not, it's just, I'm just excited, and I know it's a lot going on. I pray every day that this can all, turn around, and I know God is able, and I know it's going to help work out. It's going to take time, and it's going to take patience, it's going to take work, and I'm willing to do
True.
whatever it takes to help it out. But I think for sure we have to find a way to all bridge that gap and come together.
Mhm. Solutions, like I feel like maybe having events geared towards unity within the police force and the community. I feel like there should be more interaction, more positive interaction. These are just my personal opinions on things that I feel like could bridge the gap. And I feel like there is hope. I do see the bigger picture at the end of the tunnel. And like people like Micah, which I do want to segue and go straight into him. Like, how does living, you're missing out on some fun things that I know we were all able to experience. And I know you were probably looking forward to it. And then it's like every other month we're in a war zone, we're rioting, we're quarantining. Like just so much going on in 2020. How is it being, what are you, 18?
Yes, ma'am.
How is it being 18 right now? Like, what do you think as far as change and just what are your thoughts? What are your opinions?
So a few weeks back, when all before everything was going on, actually a few months back, I forgot this was going on for like 3 months. But my mom talked to me, and I talked to her about how I felt, and I'm very like my mom was like my best friend. So I talked to her about how I felt, and she, yes, I know it hurts, but this also gives you a real life view of how real world operates. Because in real world, some you might be planning for something, and it don't go that way. So it kind of forcefully put us into that. So when it comes to the whole coronavirus, um, after my prom date, that my supposedly prom date came, and then my supposedly graduation date came, I looked back on it and I was like, what was I tripping for? Like, why was I so upset about it? But it's because of the fact that we're groomed and we're waiting for them. But I this also a younger person, and then with the Black Lives Matter movement, whatever's going on, like kind of like you said, a war zone. It's very unfortunate that stuff goes on. And it kind of is for me. I have to kind of sit there and see my peers look at it one way, and then my other peers look at it one way, and so you have to decipher, what's the right thing to do. So it puts a lot of pressure on us because we are the next coming, and we are the youth to be next. After this, is going to actually change something. Whether it's 10 years down the line, whether it's 15 years down the line, whether it's 20 years down the line. Bottom line is we are going to be the major catalyst that's going to actually make that change. We are the people like my peers and people in my age group. We're always posting awareness things,
Mhm.
posting things that's going on, is because that's who we are as I say, Generation Z. So basically, it just kind of puts us in a situation to where we just feel like we gotta be there and help, also grow up in a sense.
Yeah, and it's happening so fast. So I have a few like younger nephews and nieces, and it's just I like seeing what they post. I like seeing how you guys feel because you're all in a position where we've never experienced anything like what's going on at the age that you are. So it's like you get to grow up kind of fast and you get to see people for who they really are versus later down the line learning. Lloyd, do you want to chime in with anything?
I mean, Michael made a great point. I mean, because as Sheldon probably know, Trey, he's going to high school next year, man, and so I said this generation is under more pressure than any generation before, even before the pandemic, because they do have social media and they are exposed to a lot of things before the majority of our generation was, and so Micah is taking it so well to be extremely mature and then to understand that, hey, life hits you hard and it's how you deal with adversity. Don't ever feel down about it. Just make when life serves you lemons, you make lemonade out of it. And it took me a long time. So man, kudos to you, Michael, on that because, I always felt like, man, everybody's after me. It's the world. And when you realize, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise when things happen, and
Yeah.
so this pandemic, it sounds like we're all have reinvested in ourselves and reevaluated ourselves and take a look at ourselves and see what can we do better, what can we do to be that difference or that change. And so, kudos to everybody on that.
Yeah, definitely awesome. So I have another question, Micah. What were your plans? Are your plans still the same prior to COVID-19 as they are while dealing with it, or did you have a change of heart as to what you want to do with your future?
Plans like career wise or just
Yes,
like
career
career
wise.
wise. So with career wise, I always wanted to own my own business. My mom owns her own business. I was growing up, kind of like to be an entrepreneur and to see how my mom handled it, and I just kind of took it from her and was like, okay, let me make some little tweaks here and there so it fit. So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. My career was never different, even
Mm,
prior to all this stuff. But like I said, I started this 2 years ago. And I could never get it off the ground. I could never start it. I could never launch it, anything like that. But as soon as COVID happened, I was able to, it seemed like doors open left and right. Like I was able to, I was able to do more research on my business, figure out how my website figure out great vendors to go talk to get my search done. And so it's all been a process, but it's also been a blessing in disguise too. And so basically, yeah, like this, like Corona, like with COVID, is actually I mean like this is something I love to do. And
yeah.
it also showed that I want to do this for like the rest of my life. So this is where I'm going to pursue going forward.
When I tell you I'm here for every single minute of everything that you're doing because not a, I mean I feel like your generation is more into entrepreneurship. You guys are more in tune with ownership and owning your own more so we were taught. I know I was taught specifically go to college, get a job. There was no you can work for yourself. I didn't really start hearing that until after I graduated college. And so this is just a good opportunity for I'm just here for look, I'm just over here giggling and wiggling. I am here for all of it. So tell us a little bit more about your brand. What does it stand for? What is it about?
Okay, so my brand, I have the shirt on. This is my Black Lives Matter shirt, and actually, inside of each letter, it has each victim who was murdered by police brutality. And so that was something I was kind of creative about. But going back, Inavi is actually my mom's writing name. So when she writes, she has another name that she uses. And so I was trying like when we was creating this, I was thinking like, okay, I don't want something that kind of goes off from somebody else. I want something that's different. Someone got to sit there and think about like, okay, what that means. And so, but when she said Navi, I was like, hey, that sound a little foreign. And so I was like, okay, I like that. So I wrote it down, and the first thing I started doing was figuring out what does it mean. Everyone has their different things. Everyone has what what words actually mean and how they take it. Me, Nabi means to be positive. There's a lot of negativity in the world, a lot of just a lot of hate. And I'm not. Sheldon knows me. Sheldon knows what I'm about. I'm not a negative person at all. I don't like negativity. I don't like negativity around me. Period. Point blank. And so it's like whatever I try to do in life, whether it's basketball, whether it's my business, even me going to college, I'm going to try to bring some type of positivity and light too. And so that was something that, for me that was like, okay, United equals be positive. And then also my like a little slogan is called "Be Divine," but that can mean two things though. Be divine. If you're a Christian, it can also mean be in the image of God. I'm a Christian, so I model my business off of Christianity, but also be divine to me could also mean someone who's resilient, someone who when they get knocked down, how do they get back up? Not do they stay down or do they get back up? You know what I mean? And that's what for me different phrases about my business. And so um, as far as right now where I'm at, it's been a blessing. I put it in phases of where I want to be at and how I want to operate. Right now, it's more like just research and everything. But this is also just like anything else is a brand. So time and effort and money and challenges going to come bigger things, battles. So I can't wait to get there. It's for me. All this is fun. Like I love sitting in my room playing music and packaging orders. Like I think my first day I had like 18 orders. I was up to like 5:30, but I was
Packages.
yeah, I was tired, but it was like I played basketball before, but basketball never brought me as much joy as
Mm,
as this. Like I can sit there in my room, listen to music, print out packing slips, go throw them on the floor, and be done with it. And then
yeah,
it was for me was the funnest thing. So that's that's about that's about it.
that's live. Like, I mean, it's not work when you enjoy it. So it's like you're not even working, you're just making money doing something that you love to do. And that's just, you have so much ambition. And I'm here for the goal setting, I'm here for the milestones. I'm just here for you, Micah. I'm here for you, Mr. Sheldon. You guys are doing awesome things in the community, within the world. You're giving back, and I don't know. I'm just happy. Lloyd, I mean, it's just amazing because you just don't get to see a lot of it. You don't get to experience a lot of it. You just know in the background things are going on. So to see it and to feel it, I like to say I'm here for it. But yeah, did you have anything that you wanted to add? I know Pat was asking. He had said
Well, just
something.
I think if just how people can find you, Sheldon and Michael, whoever wants to go, how they can find you, where they can get your products from, how they can help volunteer, whatever is needed. Please share with us.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
So for my business, um, my Instagram is called Inavi Unlimited. I think it's Inavi Unlimited Co. on Instagram. But my website name is Inavi ENAVI Unlimited UNLIMITED and co.com. And so and then that's basically it for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
definitely.
mine is basically simple as Theragooddeeds, and that's Theragood deeds. And that's Instagram. You can just type it in Instagram, at Facebook, at Twitter, at whatever it takes. At You can do that at Instagram as well. So, and we just trying to do whatever it takes to support everybody. Micah's an excellent kid, and don't forget to support him. Get his shirts. He said he had 18 orders. Well, he won 118. Let's get it.
Okay.
So
For real.
person on this panel right now. This is the next generation right here. So, Michael, kudos to you, man. I'm so proud of you and what you've been doing, and just seeing how you growing, brother. You inspire me. So keep up the great work. Keep inspiring these other kids and everybody. I hope they look at you and want to do the same
Thank you.
Same.
I'll try to.
thing.
Um, Lloyd, I know you and Lamp, you guys have something going on really soon, really important, really
Yes,
soon.
yes. Glad you brought that up. We have the voter registration drive this Saturday at Muscleheads off of Emancipation. Very huge because a lot of people are not registered to vote. It's going to be drive through because, of course, because of the city, you can't have any outside events anymore again. So it's going to be a drive through. So if you're not registered, you can come through. We have poll people that will register you on spot. They're going to have gloves on, they have masks on. If you need a mask, we're going to provide masks for you. But just please, please come out. If you know somebody that needs to get registered to vote, this election is huge, not just for the presidential election, but for local leaders,
Mhm.
county officials, everybody. Do your homework and see who's out here really for you. So come out, have a good time. We're gonna have Muscle Maker of Sugarland. They're gonna provide some snacks. If you want to get a workout in, you can do that. They're gonna have open gym, but just yes, this Saturday from 10 to 4 at Muscleheads Gym in Houston.
What's that physical address?
It's 2719 Emancipation, Houston, Texas. It's in the good old third ward, as Sheldon though.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's
so,
home. That's home. Yeah.
so come on down, and like I said, it's gonna be, if you don't want to get out your car, nothing, you just roll the window down. They're gonna sign you up, so to make sure, because the primaries are on the 14th, I want to say, for the state of Texas. So, if you don't know someone, everyone needs to go out and register to vote. Exercise that right. You can't get mad about there's no change if you don't go ahead and exercise that right to vote.
Very true. And how can anyone find you guys, your lamp and your movement, living a meaningful purpose? How can we find you all?
We're on Instagram. It's Lamp CSLLC. On Facebook, we're Lamp Services. Our website is www.lampitup.org. And of course, if you want any apparel from us, it's courtesy of Miss Ambitious Brown. So, yes, but we plan on having a mask, shirts, tank tops, anything. We will try to get that for you. But that's how you find us. But please come register to vote if you're not registered to vote.
Definitely, this is very important. Like I said, it's very important because our voices need to be heard. There's some changes that need to happen, and the only way we make that is by coming together and voting. So very proud of you guys for setting that up. I'm happy that it's, COVID-19 regulations are all involved. As for myself, the next thing that I have coming up is September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So we will be having a 5K the entire month of, or not really a 5K, but just a virtual run the entire month of September for the Aswan Foundation. Of course, I still have the clothing rocking and rolling, Rillo 87. I'm shipping out. We was in Mexico 2 times this past month, so I was really excited about that. And I got a couple of things coming for just myself. I've been in my creative mode during this quarantining, so I've been like learning different crafts that I'm going to start launching, and I have another collaboration coming. So things are just rocking and rolling, and I'm really excited about the things that are coming. I'm very thankful to God for everything that has been happening. I've been receiving a lot of blessings, and I'm happy to share this with you guys. I'm happy you guys were able to share with me and the world tonight, because we are live. So I do want to say I appreciate everybody who has tuned in, everyone who will be watching soon. You can follow us on, I believe, Facebook and Instagram at LampBitious. You can follow me on social media at Ambitious Brown _. And also we rock Rillo 87, or if you just type in RILLO 87, you'll find, like in Google, it'll pop up. So I hope you guys have a great night, and it was a great night talking to you guys, and we'll see each other next time.
Thank you. Thank y'all for coming, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, have a good one.
Bye bye.